All right, I'm back. We finally made it back. We made it back to a waypoint that I had previously marked. When I talked to you earlier about using the green edibles, we still had approximately about 9 to 10 more miles, 9 to 11 miles, maybe 9 or 7 miles. Not real quite sure. I still have to look at my pace meter and check the degrees and positioning on where I was exactly, getting exact distance. But having said that, I went ahead and set up. We set up an emergency shelter back at our base camp. We have all the essentials, fire, everything like that, something that will keep us out of the weather. So my camera crew, if you would pan around our makeshift, it took us about 8 minutes to get it set up, and that's going to help us to stay the night. So what I want to talk about right now is equipment, backpacks, survival equipment. If you're ever in a survival position, or not position, I don't know why I thought about position. If you're in a survival situation and you have to survive, you want to make sure you carry the essential things. That's it. You don't want your stuff too heavy, too light. You want stuff that you can survive in, making your own fire. I have a knife here. I have my ferro rod here, which is vitally important as far as starting a fire. Also, you can utilize the bow drill method, which is very good if you don't have a lot of time to set up your camp or whatever in a survival situation. So never leave home without a ferro rod. Lighters work good if you have that. You can take that in your backpack. It's not going to take up a lot of space. So let me go through a little bit. Like I said, you can't have enough cutting tools, knives. I've got a knife here. I've got my Shemagh. You can use that for a plethora of ideas, covering your face with the mosquitoes, covering your arms, wiping off. If you do have dysentery or stomach virus or whatever, sometimes I've resulted in that. I try to wash it as soon as I can because you don't want to carry it around your neck when that happens. You want to carry it on top of your head, what I talked about earlier, to keep the smell out. So let's go through it just a little bit. Bare essential items, all right? I always said have a backup plan. Cutting tool, axe to get my wood, to get all of my things that I need to build me a fire, all right? Also, I've got little pouches here that have some lighting stuff in here. Cotton balls are very good as far as an ignition, all right? I've got my Ziploc bags. I've got my paper towels, very important. I'm just going to go through this briefly. I've also got some ear protection in case I have to shoot something, which I don't have a gun. All right, real quick, I'm going to go through here. Now, when I say bare necessities, I can live off the land with the grass, all right? The trees, medicinal plants, life, everything, hunting, meat, all those things. But I also want to have a backup plan. You remember what I said about a compass, having a watch that's got a good compass. I had a backup plan because I don't know how to calibrate it. So I used a gauge that I got in the East Andes. Backup plan, that's what I want you to take from this whole series is backup plan. So I'll go through some of the quick items. I picked this up on the way. You remember what I said while you're traveling? You're going through the woods. Pick up things that you see that you can take. You may not can use it right then, but you can in the future. All right. Dale seasoning's pretty good. I found some bologna and some cheese. I put it in my Ziploc bag. Waterproof. All right. It's not going to spoil. A whole pack of bologna, I can go through that probably in about 4 hours. So I'm not going to give it time to spoil. Okay. Some few other items. Remember when I said to keep your pack light. All right. Your survival situation. I've got a bladder here, Camel Pack, that I use for water. Jar of mayonnaise. A lot of people say you need to keep it refrigerated. I don't, just for the simple fact I can eat this whole jar of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is also good for, all right, sunblock, all right? You can use it as a sunblock. Utilize what resources. Give me a second. Remember that sorrel I told you I ate? Sense of euphoria. It does. I'm sitting there crying and laughing. Jar of salsa. And I tell you where I attained all this stuff. Glow sticks if I can't find my way out. I'll leave that as a trail. So I can backtrack. Where I found these items at, about 11 miles out in the wilderness, I passed a primitive campsite. Nobody was there, but they had these groceries. So I picked up ketchup, is a necessity, some barbecue seasoning, take out that gamey taste, your mustard, and then after you get through all of those things, at night you want to relax, you got to get some sleep. Sleep is vitally important to survive in the wilderness. I'll use NyQuil just to kind of take a swig of that, relax a little bit. After about an hour, I'll get sleepy. Now when I'm done with all of that, now we're talking about in the wilderness, Amazon, mountains, wherever. It doesn't matter where you're at. When I'm in that survival mode, I want to make sure that I keep all of this together, all right? And I don't want to have it all over me, because all you're doing is attracting predators. So I've got my cutting stuff, fire starting stuff, things that'll protect me from the sun and the insects. And when I'm all done, hand sanitizer, just to clean the hands. I don't like to be dirty, and but anyway, pick up what things you can while you're along the way on your journey, and utilize those things, capitalize. Mayonnaise is good for sandwiches, but like I said, it's also good for a sunblock. Thank you, and I hope that you learn from this, pick some little something up, and use it on your journey if you're ever caught in a survival situation.